I'm Franz with Concrete CMS. If you've got a large team of content contributors and you want to build a website where you can really make it easy for them to work and make new stuff, but you also get to approve it and manage everything that's happening, Concrete is a great choice. Today I'm going to show you how the basic editing experience works, and then I'm going to get into some workflow and permissions configuration so you can really have the best of both worlds, a system that people want to use, but the accounting and audit trail and approval process that you need to really make it a safe place to publish. So let's get into it. This is Concrete version 9 stock theme, and we're already logged in as just the root administrator. If I use the dashboard over here on the right, you can see I'm logged in as admin. And I'm just going to quickly show you how editing with Concrete works at its simplest form. Concrete was built around drag and drop. What you see is what you get editing. So I load a page into edit mode. I can click any block. I can change text. I can drag things around and change the way they're organized. Get around my camera here. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. Change that layout. I can change this whole container layout if I want to just kind of move this down over here. So it's just like working in a word processor. If you can see a typo, you can fix a typo. Very intuitive. You don't have to spend a lot of time training people how to use this. And it gets really flexible. You can add new block types over time. And so something that maybe started as just a simple idea for a page can get more complicated as your needs grow with you. Concrete lets you build more strongly typed page editing experiences as well. So if I go to just add a new page, just a general page, you can see it puts me in this kind of blank slate, and now I'm editing blocks, and this is cool, but it does feel very, very flexible, and perhaps that's not what you need for all types of content. Maybe you're running a blog and you want some more structured content and also layout to it. So you can see there's different page types, and I'm going to add a new blog entry, and you can see we blow right by in context editing, and now I'm in a form. This is much more traditional, feels like old school WordPress, and I can start typing, this is my new blog post, and it automatically makes a URL slug. Here's a short description of what is going on. All of these are custom attributes, and you can easily make new custom attributes without having to touch a line of code. They're just variables that we associate with this page type. Let's see, where are some good images for this? Use this hero one. And here is my blog post. Blah, 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 blah. You can see as I've been working, it's saving it to my drafts. I can get to my drafts up here. There's a bunch of drafts I've made. And I want to go ahead and publish this page. Since I'm admin, that's all it took. Here's my title, here's my description. You can see Concrete has put this other stuff on the side. These all come from page defaults and feels like a blog post. I've created a structured page. I didn't have to drag and drop stuff around. If I want that flexibility, I still have it. So I can add a new block. These are all, everything I'm showing you today is just standard Concrete. So these are all the blocks that ship with the core. Maybe I want to add a survey because that'd be nice. I just drop it where I want. Is this cool? Yes. Should probably learn to spell. I'm going to add this survey to the page. And again, since I'm admin, I'm just approving my own changes. I could publish this in the future if I wanted to embargo this stuff, but I'm just publishing it live. And I have added a survey with a bunch of typos in it. That works great. If I want to see what's going on with the page, I can go to versions. You can see here is which page is live, who made it, what the comment was, and if you want to roll something back, somebody got a little bit too creative, you can actually compare the two. So here's the survey that got added. And I could actually have rolled this one back, and I'm going to turn you off, and I can delete version 2. And now when I come back to this page, the page is as it originally was. So a very easy system for people to feel creative with, because it's easy to undo things. And very few things that you can do in Concrete that aren't managed with versions. So it's pretty safe to play around with. So hopefully at a glance at this point, you're saying, yeah, this looks like a nice editing tool, and I'm sure I could use this to run my website, but what if I want to bring more people in and I don't want them to have quite so much? There's an awful lot. When I bring up this dashboard, you can see here's all these different things. If I come into system and settings, Concrete ships with multiple site hosting and multilingual, and there's a whole calendar model. There's an awful lot cooked into the core of Concrete by design. But we let you turn that stuff off and permission it down so you can run a powerful community with thousands of content contributors safely. So I'm going to show you a few things that I've set up and then show you how it works. If I come back into the dashboard and I go to members, there's users and there are groups. I have made a few groups. I made an editors group and a writers group. And what I'm wanting to do is have people who are writers who can contribute content, but editors who get to approve it. So I made those groups. I then made just some simple users. The writer is in the writers group, same with the editors. And I made a workflow. So if I look for workflows here, you can see I made this approved page workflow. And what this really does is it says administrators or editors can approve or deny, and they get notified. And same groups, but plus writers get notified when something actually is approved or denied. So having this workflow means, excuse me for jumping around, this isn't really a tutorial, more of a demo. But if I come into the page types for the theme and I go to blog entry, you can see at the permissions level, I have manually set these permissions to let editors and writers do a bunch of stuff. And one of those is if I come to approve changes, you can see workflow, and I've turned on this workflow. I've also turned this workflow on at the blog category level. And again, configuring this takes a little bit of time, but I've got it working the way I want. And I will show you the different experience. So if I come over as a writer and I sign in as that user, which again is a permission that you can manage, so I could not let people do that. I am now logged in as a writer, and you can see my dashboard just turned into a sign out button. Writer can't do too much. If I click add page, I don't see that empty page where they can just drag and drop stuff around. I just see blog entry. I'm gonna make a new blog entry, and is a blog entry from a writer. Lots of cool controls. We'll put it in a category. I guess we'll just choose the same image. Blog post, blah, blah, blah. And I got a publish page button. When I hit publish, you can see I get this little blue box. This page has been submitted for approval by the writer. If this was my username, if I made more accounts, I can review its status. If I'm just making edits to the page, this will happen again, and so I could look at the live version versus the most recent. But since this is the first time I've done this, it doesn't make any sense to click on that. But I've submitted this new page to the workflow. I can see exactly how it looks. If I don't love it, if I'm realizing, oh wait, that's not exactly great, I shouldn't have this leading space, and I should really do this bold stuff. Okay, great. Go ahead and submit that to the workflow. Okay, so you can see these alerts are stacking up. That's great. So I am now going to log out, and I'm going to come over here, and through the magic of logging back in as an admin. All right, so I am now admin, and you can see here's my huge dashboard again. I'm coming to members, go to the editor account. I'm going to sign in as the editor. All right, now the editor I've configured to have some more access, but not all access. So come over here. They have parts of the dashboard. They can't get into systems and settings and that kind of stuff, but we did want to let them get to the files, and I'll talk about boards here in a moment. So just showing that you really can get down to individual parts of a page, who can access what, when, very powerful permissions. But I'm going to actually come over into the welcome waiting for me. And here you go. Here are the alerts that are stacked up. I can take any of these. Let's say I want to approve that one. If I were to go to this page now, you can see this page is now, should be live. I'm going to approve the earlier one. Approve that too. I can look at the versions here. Great. And let's see if I sign out. So I'm just a casual user and I go back to this page. That loads. Next thing I want to do is show how this page would show up in the blog. So I'm going to log back in as the admin. And you'll see if I come to this blog section, the blog is using a list feature that we call boards. So one of the challenges that we have found our clients having in running news and kind of content-driven sites is creating the bottom, the granular article content, is a reasonably simple workflow. People post what they have, and now you've got an article with a bunch of metadata. The category pages that content shows up on, those take a lot more effort to curate. The sections, the home page, the landing pages, you want those to look fresh. You want to use dynamic layouts that change over time. You want that magazine experience that somebody has of, oh yeah, I want to browse through this. But when you're just kind of building a blog and everything is just title, short description, image, the layouts get kind of boring and repetitive. So one of the ways that we've addressed that is with this idea of boards in Concrete version 9. And what boards do is they look at a pile of content, in this case blog types or blog pages, and they find what metadata is available for these different posts, and then they kind of randomize and use a little bit of intelligence to figure out which should go where, and give you different layouts. So if I edit this board and I say I want to regenerate this, you can see it's built a new layout. Here's the new blog post that we just added. Now we're doing 3 up, 3 up. We can hit that again. So now we've got 3 up, 1, and then 2 down here. So it's actually coming up with different ways that it might display this content, and putting them in slots. If we find something that we really like, we say, I want to pin that to that slot. I don't want that to move around. I like the way that looks. And next time I hit regenerate, here's a tip you might not know. If that image stays the same, but this other stuff will regenerate around it into different form factors. So you can set this on a nightly job or an hourly job, so it can pull in content from different sources. Your category levels can build themselves. And you still can have the power to say, look, this is a sponsored post and I don't want this to change, but I'm perfectly happy for the rest of this layout to do all sorts of stuff. Each one of these stripes has some intelligence to it, as I mentioned earlier, so you can say, look, don't display 2 of these exactly next to each other. I want you to stair step them. So if you use this stripe, you can't use that stripe. So very powerful. Let you build magazine layouts in ways that your visitors will find compelling and come back to. And really great solution if you're trying to manage a bunch of different content contributors and keep things fresh over time.